Since August of 2021, Coinbase has been working with the United States government agencies to provide blockchain analytics and has been allegedly selling geolocation information of their customers to ICE. We don't even have to say allegedly to the former because it is confirmed from a US government contract on the usaspending.gov website. They have been in cahoots with the agencies such as the Department of Homeland Security, ICE, and most likely other agencies that operate under secrecy and privacy veils. This begs the question. Crypto is supposed to be a private data-driven community that prides itself on transparency, but at the same time, anonymity if you choose it. So are you comfortable with exchanges working with government and potentially regulatory agencies and providing data on you that you may not want to have tracked? And on top of that, is there an opt-in/opt-out function, or do you not have a choice? One thing that I can guarantee you for 100% certainty is if you hit that like button, I will not share your geolocation with the government. And the subscribe button does not work in conjunction with the CIA and NSA, but it sure helps you to get that info whenever it's available. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Boom! Bang on that notification bell for me. And I promise that I won't share your comments with the FBI, so make sure you chop it up with us in the relevant comments section. All of this helps get this information out to the masses that are searching for it, and I appreciate it more than you know. So with that being said, could this be the end of the Coinbase exchange? What I mean by this is the consumer confidence in Coinbase itself diminishing. I doubt everyone signed up for their geolocation data to be shared with the US Department of Homeland Security and the Immigration and Customs agencies through the Freedom of Information Act. When asked about this, Coinbase gave the basic corporate response, hiding behind their privacy and corporate veils, even though they force you to give up your privacy and behind the veil rights. They replied with this: Coinbase Tracer sources its information from public sources and does not make use of Coinbase user data. Whatever that means. This is basically them publicly denying that they share their customers' data with the government. But a contract on the usaspending.gov website tells a much different story. You can see on there that there is a $1 million contract that tops out at about $1.8 million for the Department of Homeland Security to an unknown recipient on 430 California Street in San Francisco, California, for Coinbase Analytics software. Not hard to infer who that contract went to. So with that being said, Coinbase has about 89 million users. Let's do some math. That means that your information was literally worth 2.13 cents to them. Wow. Really? So hey, Coinbase, maybe instead of selling all of everyone's information for pennies on the dollar, you could have just asked if everyone would be okay with you upping the trading fees by like 1 cent. That would have made them more money than the entire contract, and they wouldn't have been pooping all over the customers that made that exchange what it is today. But that's obviously way too logical, right? So Coinbase obviously had to get ahead of this and issued a statement on their own Twitter. They said, Coinbase does not sell proprietary customer data. They also said that its foremost priority is giving a safe and secure experience to the users of the platform. Then they followed up by saying this: Coinbase Tracer tools are created to comply with government requirements. And then they noted that this is used to investigate financial related crimes such as terrorist financing and money laundering. Yeah, okay, so basically you just negated everything that you just said previously, because let's be real, you have to KYC like crazy to get a Coinbase account with anywhere close to enough limits to do anything of substance. And think about it like this: if you're Coinbase and you know the sentiment that this is going to bring to your exchange, what would you say? You're almost forced to deny it, even though there's evidence to the contrary, just to save face and make sure that all of your customers don't leave. Because if they do, guess what? You have no more data to sell. So what comes next? The FBI? The CIA? The NSA? Are they already working with them and hiding behind classified and national security secrecy contracts? You'll probably never know, but one can make their own inferences on what information is publicly available right now. Believe half of what you see and even less of what you hear type stuff. On top of that, where do they draw the line? They're clearly governed by the SEC. Check their NAICS code in the corporate documents and classification. It's even on the usaspend.gov website. They are under NAICS code 52, which is finance and insurance. Then they are classified under the 5232 designation, which is securities and commodity. Then they are further classified under the NAICS code 523210. Guess what that is? Securities and Commodities Exchanges. Who do you think governs that? SEC? CFTC. So basically they are subject to SEC and CFTC regulation. So who runs the SEC? The government. And who owns the government? The major financial institutions, the banks. So where else do you think that this information is probably going? Banking, private equity sectors, Facebook, Google, etc. So this starts out a very slippery slope where there has to be a definitive line in the sand drawn. And let's be real, Coinbase has already kind of crossed that line and it will be difficult to reel it back in. Department of Homeland Security and ICE are one thing. SEC regulation is another. Then the rest of the floodgates open to the other government agencies such as the FBI, CIA, NSA, blah, blah, blah. Even further, since the SEC is in cahoots with big banking and traditional finance, where do you think the next step comes? Tracking all of your withdrawals, trades, which they already do, obviously, and reporting it to the banks, IRS, etc. If you have nothing to hide, this isn't really a big deal. But the fact is that if they sell one portion of the data, it's clear that they will sell the rest. Your personal details, financial status, etc. Do you really want them selling that? It's your personal business and not any other person or entity's business or right to sell and air out to the public or private sectors. So where is all of this going? I think this opens the door to other US-based exchanges for an opportunity. Go talk to the Winklevi. Gemini is one of those US-based exchanges, but they have their own issues. If people lose their confidence in Coinbase, it will turn into an analytics company that basically becomes a software salesman. If everyone leaves, they have no data to sell, so they can only sell their blockchain softwares and solutions to other agencies and institutions. So where does all that money go? Because all of that volume has to go somewhere, right? I'm sure some of it will go abroad and a lot of it will go to the new and emerging Crypto.com platform. And they have their own chain too, so the future is pretty bright for Crypto.com, to be honest. Wolfer Finance is actually working on a Crypto.com validator node because we see the future for this emerging platform, and the prices are as close to opening as possible right now. It's around 11 cents, and last year this time it was about 10 cents. We're grabbing up our validator, and I would suggest that you grab some Pro coins for your war chest, just in case for the long haul. Let me ask you this. How many other exchanges and chains are actually buying up one of the most iconic sports landmarks in the entire world? How many are advertising on the largest stages in the world, like the Super Bowl halftime shows in front of hundreds of millions of viewers, and getting A-list actors like Matt Damon and sports superstars like LeBron to help them market? And to be clear, this is not a Crypto.com advertisement. I make nothing from saying this. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Advertising is king, and Crypto.com is absolutely smashing their advertising out of the park. And with Coinbase doing this type of stuff, all eyes are going to be on them. I don't even have a Crypto.com affiliate code. Go check my description. I only have one thing that even affiliates me to Crypto.com, and that is Wolfer Finance's validator node. And if you want in on Wolfer Finance, we're already sold out, but you can go buy an investor position on OpenSea, so go check it out if it's something that you want to get into. With a coin like Crow, you don't have to just hold it long term and hope it goes up, which is likely to do anyway. You can stake said coins and earn income on them to the tune of 14% per year. Here's my only offer for you, if you can even really consider it an offer. Wolfer Finance will post our Crypto.com validator node once it is up, and I will encourage you and appreciate you if you staked on our validator. You can stake on any validator that you want. I just want that to be clear. But one thing that I will say is we will have our own validator running, and at least you know who's running that validator. You basically know who you're in business with, and I think this is integral, having those types of positions. We also have an AVAX and FTM validator that we will post as well, so feel free to stake on those validators because ours will be around for decades, and you don't have to worry about us losing our validation position. One thing is for sure, Coinbase has started down a turbulent path, and it will be interesting to see where they land. I'm just delivering the information. Go read the articles, do your research, and make the best decision for yourself and your family. I personally know what I will be doing, and I am 100% okay with paying taxes on my gains. I want the fire trucks to show up if my house is on fire, and I like being able to drive on paved roads and lights that are lighting it up, right? Taxes are key for infrastructure, but profiting off of the geolocation and selling my information without my consent or knowledge does not necessarily sit well with me. Most people have nothing to hide, but they still want to choose what information they give to the masses. Free will type stuff. This is not a good look, and we will see how it plays out soon enough for Coinbase. With that being said, if you liked this information, make sure you smash that like button for me. Make sure you hit subscribe while you're at it, and boom, bang on that notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for showing up to this video. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.